Hello and welcome to episode 1 of 6 again with Finchy. I've got my good mate here, Hazna, riding shotgun. It's just a light-hearted approach to the week in league. We're going to start from round 16. We're going to preview a bit of Origin, the games coming up, and let's get into it, shall we?
Let's go. Let's do this. Excited.
Okay, the teams are in for New South Wales and Queensland. They're going to be as per program. They said they were going to maybe start Kurt Mann at hooker, or they're starting with Harry Grant. What do you think, Hazna?
I would have started Kurt Mann at hooker, started him and start Harry Grant coming off the bench because
Harry
Grant. Harry Grant.
You said Harry Grant.
Did I?
You said Harry.
Did I?
You said Harry Grant. Okay. I almost said Harry Grant.
Harry Grant.
You said Harry Grant.
Harry Grant.
Okay. Do we, as Bulldog fans, do we like Max King starting? Do you think he's going to be up for it?
Of course. He's
we just don't want him to get injured.
That's right. But he's proven week in, week out, he's a big starter, man.
Who did the Dogs play last week?
Parramatta.
Yeah. That was the most aggressive I've seen Max King play, especially when he smashed that Sean Russell guy, didn't he?
Ran over 200 metres as well. But that's coming back from State of Origin training.
He's grown another leg.
Looking at the likes of Payne Haas and Isaiah Yeo and those sort of calibre players, like he'll be coming back like, I could do this.
All right, plays to watch. You pick one player from New South Wales and one player from Queensland. I've just mentioned, for me, it's Munster for Queensland. I reckon he's due for a massive one. And for New South Wales, I love Trell. I want Trell, hopefully Trell a double. For New South Wales, Trell to get up. That's my plays to watch. What's your two players, one from each team?
I really like the way Robert Toya plays.
Nickname Bobby T, 101 kilos, 183 centimetres. He could be anything.
He's a monster.
Coming back from 2 knee recos.
He's got nothing but growth in his game. Still a rookie in the game, but yeah, he could have a blinder tonight. And Jerome Luai.
Oh, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, I think
when he puts a New South Wales jersey on, I love him. Outside New South Wales jersey, that's for another story.
Coming from a losing shit team like the Tigers, they'd go.
You're going to upset our Tigers viewers.
And they're going to a Penrith like team and system. He'll be cheering. To go for
okay. Give me a bold prediction, an out there prediction. I'll start. I'll help you. I think due to the physicality, and we don't want any player to get injured, God forbid, there will be a HIA and an 18th man, whether it be Ezra Mann or Matt Burton, will be activated.
You think an 18 man will be?
That's my bold prediction. Hit me with one.
Queensland to blow out New South Wales tonight.
That's okay. So that's your predicted score, and by how much? You think Queensland by plenty?
13 plus, yeah.
13 plus?
Yeah. I feel like they're out there to...
So Munster, Ponga gonna run riot?
Yeah, I feel like they're out there today to prove a point. Shubak, they've lost, their last 4 games in a row? Mm-hmm. Isn't that right? The last 3 or 4 games in a row?
No, they've, the last game of last... last year, 3 games in a row.
Yeah, there you go.
So this will be their fourth. I'm so excited to see Kurt Mann play, but...
Yeah, now it's after the drama with Billy Slater and Aaron Woods. I think that was big.
They're going to come out firing. If New South Wales can hold them in the first 15, 20 minutes, this is my prediction, yeah? It's New South Wales by plenty, Queensland 1 to 12, and my 18th man, one of them will be activated. My man of the match, let's go Max King, if New South Wales win. And my man of the match, I've said it, is Munster if Queensland win. What's your man? Give me a man of the match for each.
I'd have Luai as man of the match and
Jeremy?
Tommy Dearden.
If
Queensland win it.
Oh,
I think if Queensland are going to win, they're going to win big.
All right. So
I don't think they're going to win 1 to 12.
All right. Let's switch now back to NRL footy. Round 16, Friday night, 8 o'clock. It'll be the Tigers versus Raiders. A lot of people have Raiders as a dark horse now. I don't think the Raiders are a dark horse at all. I think they're up there with the favourites now.
I've had them as a dark horse about 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Don't you think now they've elevated to favourite? A dark horse is someone that no one's expecting now, surely.
They're a team definitely in the prelim, I reckon.
Prelim.
Yeah.
Oh, if you finish top, and they might have 2 games at what's that? GI Stadium, isn't it? At Canberra.
They're fast.
And it'll be
they're
cold.
young. They're exciting. They're enthusiastic, and they've got ticker. Even Warriors.
The forward pack: Tarpany, Starling, Papali, Horsburgh, Nichols, Hoskins,
and the backline's Ferraris all over.
Who's what's his name? The KO Weeks.
He's a tank.
He's electric.
Rookie as well. Ethan Strange. I like him as well.
So you're tipping Raiders
Yeah.
to get the job done?
Canberra by big.
By big. Poor Tigers. Depending if Jerome Luai backs up,
He definitely will.
if he doesn't get injured. So we're saying Raiders in that game?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, the Saturday 3 p.m. game is at New Zealand. Warriors versus Penrith. Penrith resting all their players. Warriors having a game, another team that's now up there with the favouritism. You can't ignore their form. It's not a fluke no more.
Warriors are back home now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's in New Zealand, Saturday 3 p.m.
Yeah, I think Warriors.
Warriors?
Warriors are they've been in form lately, and they've played what 6 or 5 to 6 games away. Now?
Yeah, they just pumped Cronulla last week.
And they've won nearly every single game.
They pumped them by 40.
I think if they win this, they're 7 in a row.
Did Buzz's pig Rothfield talk about Cronulla when the Warriors reserve grade side tailed them up by 40?
Didn't pay attention
No,
to
they're too busy talking about bullshit stories about the Bulldogs. True?
Straight out. He killed me. He killed me.
But Mitch Barnett being out with the ACL, Mitch Barnett being out for the year is might hurt him in the end. That Abiod hard head.
Towards the semis?
They're going to make the semis now.
Definitely.
But I'm saying Mitch Barnett, New South Wales, and he hasn't played for Australia yet, but New South Wales player. Penrith resting all their stars. Ivan Cleary is resting him for the Bulldogs game the following week.
100%.
What's that? What's this?
Combank.
Paraflop Stadium?
Combank Stadium. 100% he's resting in him. But at the same time, he needs to win this game against the Warriors.
But they've gone from second last to 9th.
Yeah.
With a bye.
But if they lose this game, they could go down to 14th. Down to as low as 14th.
So we're in agreement Warriors to win on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think it'll be as comfortable.
No, Penrith will give them trouble, but I think Warriors will win.
Okay, Saturday 5:30. The Dolphins versus Knights. The Dolphins, they've scored 150 points in 3 weeks. Their attack they're fun to watch.
Bro, they've surprised me so much in the past few weeks.
That Katoa.
Like from the Doggies game, moving forward to like last week, man, they've been so...
So last week, to be fair, the Cowboys were missing some players, but also in the same token, the Dolphins were missing players. The Dolphins were missing Hammer, Flegler.
But you could say that back with the Doggies game against Dolphins, that Bulldogs had a lot of players out, but Dolphins were more the patient team when it came to that.
But their attack, I think them and Canberra are the most fun teams to watch when they're on.
Straight out. Lately, yeah. With Dolphins, lately, yeah.
The Knights, it looks like Ponga doesn't want to be there. I love Ponga on his day, but he looks like, I don't know, his dad's the manager, he wants to go All Blacks, he wants to go Boomers, he wants to go Socceroo. He doesn't know what he wants to do.
He's over it.
Does he look interested or is he upset?
I reckon he hates his life being at Newcastle right now.
Truth?
I'm being honest.
He's got 1.4 million reasons to like it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, these players that are coming in there, their main goal is to win a ring around their finger. And playing with a team like Newcastle, he's never smelling that ring if he's going to...
That's... Even with
Dylan Brown. That's facts. That's facts. They don't have any special halves. They don't have any special forward pack.
But the funny thing is between him and Dylan Brown, that's $2.7 million in the cap, and they've just lost Leo Thompson. Where are they going to find other players? They've taken up much of the salary cap.
At the same time, their club isn't attractive to go to. So,
we got Dolphins by plenty.
Yeah, I think
Herbie Farnworth.
I think so. And their defense has proved a lot lately.
Okay, you're a massive Critter fan.
Love him.
I reckon Herbie Farnworth is a better centre than Critter.
Attacking wise, yes.
Everything wise.
Nah, I disagree.
Bro, Herbie Farnworth is wow.
I disagree.
I'd swap Critter for Herbie Farnworth. You won't?
No chance.
What?
No way.
You said love you, Critter, man.
No way, bro. No way. Critter is him, bro.
If you've got Critter as the number 1 centre, who's number 2? Farnworth.
Farnworth all day.
Bro, Farnworth is just wow.
Farnworth.
he just is busy. He's involved in every tackle bust.
Yeah.
I think he got 19 tackle busts last week.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He broke the record, and he scored in
8 games.
8 games in a row, and the Cody Nkrumah gave it to him.
That's right.
It was good for me having him in NRL fantasy.
Yeah, I've got him as well in Supercase.
Let's just touch on Katoa, their halfback, the 20-year-old. My brother's got massive raps on him. He's an ex-Cleary.
100%.
What's he worth on the open market?
Right now?
Yeah.
1.7, I reckon.
1.7.
Oh, brother, if Dylan Brown, which is like no offense.
Yes, if you're going by Dylan Brown.
Yeah, well, that's the market. If you really want to look at the market, that's the market. If you're looking at Dylan Brown and he's 1.4,
there was a rumour he's going to Manly.
Katoa's 1.8, I reckon, easy.
Can you see him going to Manly? Not if... But Manly have got the cap, because they've got that $1 million, 1.2 from Cherry Evans, and then they're going to release, they're losing Josh Alawai to medical retirement.
I don't think
he won't
so.
go Met. Has he got any attachment to Manly? Do you know?
I think Katoa, Dolphins will build a team around him.
Because I think he's on 600. He's worth double that now.
They will give him a pay rise by the end of the year, I reckon.
They have
to. He's off contract.
20 years old.
He's off contract this November or next November?
Next one. He's still got one 2025, 2026.
I reckon they'll upgrade him by the end of the year.
Like,
he's a sort of player that they should work around.
Bro, he is that team. He is that team.
Yeah, straight out.
Okay, so we got Dolphins by plenty.
Yeah.
Yes?
Against Knights, yeah.
Saturday, 7:30, South versus Storm at Homebush.
It's going to be a good game.
If Latrell, but for me, the only way South can win is if Latrell gets through Origin unscathed and backs up. Otherwise, all I can see, especially if Keon might be playing. He fractured his eye socket, then they cleared him, but he's got a facial injury. They haven't said if Keon Kamatangi if he's playing or not. Have you read anything?
I don't think he'll play. Fractured eye socket.
They've cleared him from the fracture, but they just said now on the NRL website it's just got facial injury.
Okay.
But what kind of facial injury can be? Has to be fracture or a break somewhere.
Yes. I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Storm are going to start. Storm now. It's go time for the Storm. They've been bubbling along, fiddle fighting around. I think the Storm now is the go button. Bellamy's going to have them rearing. Jerome Hughes hitting form. Munster, will he back? Munster back up, won't he?
I'll be honest with you, Finch.
You don't rate the Storm?
I haven't been surprised a lot with Storm this year.
You've been surprised of how poor they're playing?
I've been surprised on how inconsistent they are.
It's not a Bellamy side, is it?
Nah, not defensively. Attacking wise, yeah. They are 100% a Craig Bellamy side, but defensively, they are pathetic this year. They're very vulnerable.
But I think they're just, because they're, what they call it, bubbling along. They're in they're in second gear.
Yeah.
Now that's round 16. It's the last 8 round. The last third of the year. I think now's the go time. You'll see on Saturday. I think it's go time for the Storm. They'll make a statement.
It's teams like the Manly, which I think Manly will go downhill moving forward. But Manly, the Souths, those sort of teams that are just fighting for the 8, that will give the top 4 a little run heading towards the end of the season. And I feel like Rabbitohs will trouble Storm, but Storm will obviously get the win.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if it'll be a real close game.
Okay. I reckon the Bulldogs would have blown South off the park last week if it stayed dry.
100%.
The second it got wet, we went back to the middle. We had no props, and it became a slugfest. And that's when their Talis Duncans, their Aikens, their Kolomatangis, and all that.
I think it's logical that if you're going into the sheds with an 18-0 lead, with a defensive mindset like the Dogs, you could go back out there. And
when it was dry, Canterbury looked brilliant.
Yeah.
But South's it's the Wayne Bennett side.
Yeah, but like I said, you could go back out there and go, we're 18 points in front, let's just grind out the game. Where you have South coming in the sheds and then they're going, we have to catch up and change our game plan.
But if it stayed dry, we would have kept going to the edge.
I think it would have been 40 plus.
Yeah. I got the Storm. Storm 1 to 12.
1 to 12.
Okay. Brisbane versus Sharks, Sunday 2 p.m. at Brisbane, it's Vegas.
You all know my tips now.
I've got a curveball for you. Would you put Hines to fullback for Shknar and put Daniel Atkinson at 6 and Trindle? How's Hines gonna regain his form? Or is he a lost cause?
No offense, bro. He's a Jofta at 7.
Gonski?
He's bad.
How does he win at Dalian?
That was a fluke.
Who was it? Was that the year he beat Sean Johnson for it? I think Sean Johnson got dudded that year.
Yeah.
Because he was a media slut then.
Yeah. But in all honesty, you should put him back in fullback.
I'd put him in fullback.
Because he played
Try
better
to
there
spark
with
him up.
Melbourne and at the
Less
start.
tackling, less fatigue on him,
Yeah.
and he can chime in wherever he
That's
wants.
right. That's right. And he could come in with the fifth and last kicking game.
They came into 2025 as one of the favourite teams.
They're top 4 side this year.
They got a top 4 squad. What are the Sharks coming now?
They're coming 5th. Oh, they're not far from the top 4.
So if they're playing like crap,
But they're 4 points away from Storm. So.
But they came in. I had them definite top 4s.
Yeah, they're Manly. I had them.
Yeah,
but like
we'll talk about that another time. But bro, I got.
And when you look at the top 4, like there's a big break. There's a 4 point to 6 point gap between 5th and 8th.
Do you like my idea of moving Hines to fullback?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Atkinson,
him
who's going to the Dragons, put him at 6. He's got an awesome kicking game, and let Trindle on the side, and then Hines can chime in wherever.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You like that?
Yeah.
Bro, Brisbane on their day can beat anyone. Brisbane's a star-studded side. I still think Brisbane can make the grand final.
You think so?
Yes, but getting over the line, I think they might have mental scars due to 2023 grand final.
Yeah.
Bro, you look at that Brisbane side when Ben Hunt comes back, but that's...
Where are you going to put Hunt?
I think he's going to play...
Hooker?
Hooker, that's that Hooker, bro. He's gone.
And what about their current 9?
He's rubbish.
Not Billy Walters.
Corey Pakes,
Yeah.
Trash, bro.
Is he?
Trash. Walters and Pakes, trash. They got that young kid, Blake Moser. I think he's still injured. Oh, no, he's on the bench. I'll double check. I think he's on the bench this week, Blake Moser. But I'll put Hunt, Royce Horsefires, Katoni Staggs. Cobbo is... that might be for a span in the works. But on their day, Brisbane can beat anyone.
Yeah. Like if they perform...
Carrigan, Piakura.
If they perform the way they performed last week, easy win.
I'm tipping Brisbane in a tight one.
I think
Brisbane by 2-4.
I think Sharks 1-12 for me.
You got Sharkies?
Yeah.
The Sunday game, Roosters versus Cowboys. I think Cowboys think defence is optional, bro. Do they know rugby league is attack and defence?
Bro, they're
Cowboys are fun to watch when they're firing, but when one thing goes wrong, they drop their head. It's like they quit. They spit the dummy and quit.
Yeah, that's right. You know what? Cowboys, I like their attack when they.
I love Drinkwater, but then
once they click, they look good. They look good on TV, but. Yeah, bro, they're another team that's really inconsistent this year. Their defence is also very vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable.
I've got written here, defence is optional. You'll know from the first set if they're on or not, the Cowboys.
That's the last or second last game.
That's the second last game.
So you'll have definitely the Origin players backing up.
The first set last week versus the Dolphins. Dolphins ran 60 minutes, kick to the corner.
Yeah.
You knew they were off.
Yeah, straight up.
Roosters versus Cows. We're going to go Roosters?
Yeah, I think Roosters 1-12, but...
Go Roosters. Sam Walker breaking his thumb. That's going to hurt him a little bit.
He's got bad luck this year.
He's run over a cat or walked under a ladder or got the hand from some lever or something.
Yeah.
Do you think Roosters are genuine title contenders this year?
No.
Where are they? They're in the 8.
Not title contenders, but they'll be in the finals. To me, I think they'll scrape in that 6, 7, 8 spot.
They're in 8th right now.
But I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you think Sam Walker
Yes.
will provide a better spark than the rookie halves that?
I think last week, Sandon Smith went to the bench. He got Hugo Savala for his kicking game and a big body, and Walker.
I rate him.
Savala?
Oh, bro.
But I think Sandon Smith's asking for a release. Cowboys.
Apparently,
Sandon Smith, he killed it for Anzac Day, but he's hot and cold, Sandon Smith. I'm not saying he's a shit player.
I heard some whispers that he might go down to Dragons.
Sandon Smith?
Yeah.
But they got... Okay. Rooster 1-12. With me, or you saying Cowboys?
Yeah, Roosters 1-12. Cowboys will give them a little bit of a fight.
The last game of round 16 at Parramatta is the Parramatta Eels versus the Titans.
It'll be a good game.
Parramatta missing everyone. No Moses, no Dylan Brown. Who else are they missing?
I think it's a good time that they could play without.
Yeah, their spine's going to be so young. You got your Iongi, Papali, Hawkins, and Riley Smith. I think that's the youngest spine they've ever had.
I've tipped Parramatta to win.
Parramatta?
Yeah.
You've tipped Parramatta?
Yeah, I feel like that.
Never tipped Parramatta.
Titans are unpredictable, bro.
Jaden Campbell, Tino,
Zbele.
and both Tino.
Like, all right, Tino's, yes.
But you've got your Queensland jersey. What do you mean Tino's
like Tino's good, but like you've got a lot of.
What about Jaden Campbell?
Like, no offense, khara players in that Titans team, bro. They can't gel it.
I got Jaden Campbell, foreign leading him around. Lofi Camperera, Lightning. If Tino on that backup. Oh, Fafita's named 80th man. Fafita might play.
I don't understand why he hasn't picked him at all this year.
He had ankle. They've cleaned his.
Yeah, but
ankle surgery. Cleaned his ankle out.
He was a bit like going with his selections. We never picked
Hazna.
him.
I can't stand Hazna, bro.
Like,
there's cancer.
You've got a player that is really unpredictable when it comes to him playing, and I'd put him on, bro.
Fafita's not a bench player. Fafita's not a bench player.
But even if his fitness isn't the best and he's not an 80-minute man, start him on the bench. All right, but like I'd have him in the side all day in that 117.
Yeah, he has to be in the side. But like 1 week he started, the next week he was on the bench.
Not starting. I personally wouldn't have him starting.
If you have him on the right, because he wants to play on the left, and both Firma is on the left.
That's right.
But they can surely a $1 million player, and Firma's now an Origin player or played Origin 1, can play either side.
Oh, no.
I'm going Titans because I can never tip golden rule, never tip Parramatta for me. And because Parramatta are missing players, I'll give them that.
Fair enough.
But I was going to tip Titans regardless.
I just feel like that.
You're tipping Parramatta?
Yeah, that young team, and they lost last week.
I don't know. My tips. Knowing my luck, our tips. There's been plenty of upsets. The competition is.
Mind you, who's coming first in tipping comp?
Is it you,
brother? Big Hazna.
Are you tipping with your heart or tipping with your head?
Absolutely no clue. Nah.
Bro, eating meeny miny mo some of the rounds.
Yeah, it's been really unpredictable this year.
There was a round 3 or 4 weeks back. I got none from 6.
Yeah.
All the upsets won.
Like me. That's right.
It was none from 6.
That's right.
Well, Hazna, that's episode 1 out of the way because we were short for time and it's our first one. There's going to be some, what do you call them? Bit of rust.
Yeah, of course.
Bit of butterflies.
There's always cobwebs in the first episode.
There was a bit of nerves.
Yeah, 100%. But
where Origin starting in, let me see. We just done this before Origin. 15 minutes to go. So your final prediction for going back to Origin?
I feel like...
Can you refresh it for me? Queensland 13
will
plus.
win 13 plus.
And your man of the match will be?
Tommy Dearden.
Okay.
With a Robert Toya spectacular performance.
Okay. I've got New South Wales either 13 plus. I'm going to do a one leg in each half, in each camp. It's going to be either Queensland 1 to 12 with a Munster masterclass, or New South Wales 13 plus, Troll Mitt. That's it, brother. Thanks for watching, peoples.
One last question.
Yes.
What do you think of actually not
Galvin's next week, bro.
Why don't you rate salmon?
The Bulldogs are next week.
That's it.